Peace, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. And this one right here is a doozy. The title of it, YouTube Streets, the Dirty Sector Explained. Through this video, you will understand what I mean and what Dollar meant and everyone meant that spoke on the fact of what's been going on. This one right here gonna make you drop your jaw. But I want to play some audio before I play more audio.
These audio and articles are in my possession, meaning I own them due to the fact that the YouTube channel, if they were on YouTube channels, do not exist anymore. I don't want Troy Star to flag Layla Wells, Khalil Amani, Ron Savage, and Usain Nobody to flag this. And it stated, if you flag this motherfucking channel, we going to court and your ass going to jail. And that's it.
That's it. No flagging my videos. No flagging my videos. Matter of fact, I'm going to put my flyer up. And now we finna play the audio. And we're going to let the audio speak for itself.
Hassan and Giovanni, homo thugs in conflict? Part 3, final, by Khalil Amani. Giovanni, underage though he may or may not have been, was no saint. Giovanni, underage as he may or may not have been, was a fighter, a scissor-wielding gangster, and a gunslinger. A street dude like Hassan, who may have been sexing Bambaataa for reasons unknown to us, but like Hassan, a willing participant in Bambaataa's sex ring. The narrative of Giovanni as young, innocent victim of African Bambaataa is the result of limited information until the present time. Enough people have come forward and painted a far realer and clearer picture of this young man, Giovanni. We were so worried about Giovanni's well-being and thinking that he was some soft and frail kid that Bambaataa had violated, that we couldn't picture him as a homo thug. Even when Hassan gave us hints and clues by telling us that Giovanni went to jail and was stabbing motherfuckers left and right. Soft niggas don't act like this. Civilian niggas don't act like this. Remember now? Does this sound like the handiwork of a civilian? Hell no. And just how would Hassan know about Giovanni's actions? That he was in jail stabbing people? How would Hassan know this? The only way that Hassan would know what Giovanni was up to after the stabbing was that Hassan was stalking Giovanni, keeping tabs on Giovanni's whereabouts and movements, doing reconnaissance missions, keeping his ear to the street out of fear or retribution. For indeed, Hassan tells us that he was given a picture of Giovanni and that he actually walked the streets of New York in search of Giovanni and ran into Giovanni's brother, who explained to Hassan that his brother, Giovanni, was only protecting himself from Bambaataa's sexual advances. Giovanni didn't go crazy, as Hassan suggested. because Bambaataa molested him, any more than a son's son became a transgender woman as a result of being molested. That's that simple Simon understanding of human sexuality that Hassan randomly pulls out of his ass. Giovanni was a homo thug who had been a bad boy long before Bambaataa ever touched him. With major redundancy, Giovanni was about that action. According to Hassan, he took that picture of Giovanni from Africa Bambaataa and sought out Giovanni for termination and extermination. Hassan's action in and of itself, by legalese, was a clear case of conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree. His words are self-incriminating. Africa Bambaataa giving Hassan Giovanni's picture and Hassan accepting the picture from Africa Bambaataa is conspiracy to commit murder. They had a binding contract, the giving and taking of the picture. How crazy that one alleged victim of Africa Bambaataa's sexual abuse, Hassan, wants to kill another victim of Africa Bambaataa's sexual abuse, Giovanni. How crazy is that? If this doesn't sound like a lover's triangle, like two chicks fighting over a dude, or in this case, two dudes fighting over another dude, with the information that is leaking out and demanding that Hassan and Ronald take it to the feds, or as of late, bring forth New York's Child Victims Act, we will soon find out that the pity party for the young Spanish man, based on Hassan Poppy Campbell's telling of the story, turns out to be no more than a super homo thug menage a trois, a circle of three, a main chick / side chick quarrel for the love and affection of Africa Bambaataa, some street shit of Gaelic proportions. It is becoming evident that indeed the Zulu Nation was no more than Africa Bambaataa's sex cult, wherein he groomed prepubescent and teenage boys from Bronx River housing projects to be his sexual property, breaking them in with porn, and then masturbation, and then oral sex and thigh-ing. And alas, making them pose nude for Bam's nasty black book of naked boys. Once in the book, you were an extortion candidate. The black book is how Bambaataa maintained order amongst these young sexual savages. Hassan Campbell has been naming names lately. Victims of Bambaataa includes his ex-childhood friend, Tawfiq, his younger brother, Ali Baba, and who outs child molestation victims? Hassan, that's who. What a fucking creep. And speaking of Hassan's ex-friend, Tawfiq, Hassan has steadfastly maintained that on at least 2 occasions, Queen's Flip episode 29 being one of them, that he was given a picture to murder Giovanni, the man who stabbed Bambaataa. But now, in a recent YouTube rant, Hassan has laid the attempted murder of Giovanni at the feet of Tawfiq. Hassan stated that Tawfiq told him, "It's my job to clean it up," meaning kill Giovanni for Bambaataa. What a new revelation after 4 years of saying he was the one commissioned to do the hit on Giovanni. Now he implicates Tawfiq in the murder conspiracy to kill Giovanni? Hassan's vacillation is epic. On this 7th anniversary of Africa Bambaataa getting stabbed by Giovanni, Hassan Campbell has finally claimed that he will be stepping up to the plate and taking advantage of New York's Child Victims Act by taking Africa Bambaataa to court and suing him for his molestation. He has until August 14th, 2020 to file papers. Finally, Hassan claims he's going to do the right thing thanks to YouTuber Sadnetta, who baited him in a game of YouTube chess when he interviewed his former friend Tawfiq. That video Hassan could bear. But hold on and slow your roll. Hassan is not suing Africa Bambaataa because it's the right thing to do. No! He is not being an advocate for the molested on some altruistic and philanthropic and hero-like stuff. It is all self-serving. Hassan is suing Bambaataa because Tawfiq bruised his ego. He is suing because Sadnetta pushed his fragile mental button with the YouTube video. Hassan is simply making a mockery of New York's Child Victims Act, a governmental statute that was a decade in the making, by talking about he's buying a new BMW with his lawsuit money. He gives no fucks about doing real advocacy work and doing something constructive for child molestation victims. This shit is purely a game to Hassan. This is why Khalil Omani refuses to jump on the Hassanian hobo train. Khalil knows about court proceedings and defense attorneys and prosecutors and state and federal law enforcement and witnesses and testifying and pointing people out on the stand and even witness protection. Been there, done that. This is serious business, and I don't think Hassan's heart is in the right place. Neither does Hassan have the temperament for civil jurisprudence. Simply put, Hassan's motives aren't pure. They are self-serving. He is not about helping victims of child molestation. He's looking for a come-up. With all that Hassan has said in these YouTube streets about other people's children and wives and dead mothers, coupled with his past criminal history, if Africa Bambaataa's attorney brings his A game to court, he will annihilate Hassan and his lawsuit. There will be no new BMW for Hassan. And if Africa Bambaataa admits to being gay and casts Hassan as a spurned and dejected ex-lover with a vendetta over not receiving a music contract back in the day, it's a wrap. The problem with Hassan's civil suit, the problem with Hassan's molestation is that his facts are wishy-washy, skewed, muddled, inconsistent, and contradictory. What do I mean? Well, I'll tell you what I mean. Hassan tells us that Africa Bambaataa was not the first person to molest him. In his Queen's Flip 29 interview, Hassan says, before Bambaataa came along, I was already being molested. The first one to molest me was a girl, and I'll never forget. And then, many months later, while sitting in his car mad at his mama and his older brother, Hassan, in one of his pity party moments says, since you like to gossip, you bitch ass nigga, I protected you, you bitch ass nigga. I protected you. Being that you like to gossip, Wayne, you can tell everybody that you was the first motherfucker that molested me, my big brother. So who really molested Hassan first? A girl or his big brother Wayne? Bambatta's lawyer gonna make mincemeat out of Hassan's contradictions. Compounding Hassan's who molested me first problem is the fact that Hassan has given us two accounts of when Bambaataa allegedly started molesting him. One time he says 12 or 13, and another time he says 15 or 16. There's a huge difference between being 12 or 13 and being 15 or 16. From speaking in a high-pitched falsetto in pre-puberty to baritone as a teenager, from having no hair around your genitalia, sex organs, to having pubic hair and facial hair. Hassan has a hell of a story to fix. A good attorney is going to ask Hassan why hasn't he sued the girl whom he claims first molested him on Queen's Flip Show? Or why hasn't he sued his older brother whom he also claims first molested him in a car wreck? A good lawyer is going to grill Hassan on this grave contradiction and make him choose whom really first molested him, and then call him a liar on the witness stand. A good attorney is going to paint Hassan as a gravy train riding, looking for a come-up fame fool who is only suing Africa Bambaataa because he is famous and worth an estimated $5 million. Bambaata's attorney will argue that Hassan was never molested and use the April 1st, 2013 stabbing by Giovanni as proof positive of this fact. Why would a supposed molestation victim, Hassan, seek to kill another supposed molestation victim, Giovanni? Hassan may have been a victim of Africa Bambaataa, but today he stands as YouTube's greatest victimizer. No one who has ever been a victim of child molestation should ever, under no circumstance, out other victims of child molestation. But look at Hassan. He's outed other alleged child molestation victims like Tafiq, Ali Baba, B.O., and Kip. Hassan is a victimizer. No grown-ass man who claims he's been sexually abused as a child should speak ill of children. But look at Hassan. From threatening / wishing he could stick heavy dick in Kevin's son and daughter, to polite Sonettas and Derek C. Williams' daughters ugly, or talking about one of them having a cup of hair. Notice that all three of these young girls are highly melanated, dark-skinned. He has called 3 black girls ugly and 3 black women ugly. Sonetta's wife, Lacquer Black, and Soul Alchemy. What do all 6 of these females have in common? They are all dark-skinned, highly melanated. Hassan Campbell is a victimizer. But this is your man's. People like Gully TV make apologies to Hassan. Hassan talked mad shit about Farrakhan, and Gilly didn't like that shit. Hassan went further and said he wanted to knuckle out with Gully. But now, since they have some mutual acquaintances, the beef is squashed. And people like Queen's Flip, justifying Hassan's actions with some ghetto psychology that insinuates that we should be empathetic and understanding towards Hassan because of his molestation. Meanwhile, this fuck nigga, Hassan, is verbally molesting others' children. Yet, not once have we heard Camp Gill's, Brother Polite, or Sonetta clap back at Hassan's children on some, your children goofy and retarded as fuck. Low lifedness, which they have every right to do so. Yes, this is the motherfucker, Hassan, that has finally decided to sue Bambaataa, and we are supposed to forget what he said about the children and jump on his bandwagon. Fuck that. Hassan Campbell is a victimizer. A man who hates his family by once calling his sister a monkey bitch, his brother Wayne a bitch ass nigga and a child molester, and threatening that if his mother dies, he would enlist 50 goons to go to the funeral and tip over the wheelchairs of his elderly and disabled relatives. Damn, fuck nigga. This is the nigga that soiled his mother's panties, i.e. her reputation, by casting her as a pain pill popping junkie with an appetite for child abuse. Truth be told, Hassan doesn't deserve a mother. And yes, even though Tupac once rapped, and even as a back crack fiend mama, you always was my black queen mama, I finally understand. Have we ever heard Hassan say one nice thing about my Duke? Hell no. Tupac understood the trials and tribulations of single black motherhood. But here's Hassan at 43, still playing the blame game. How they say, your mama did the best she could. Now get off her fucking back. Even if your mother wasn't the best mother, stop snitching on her, Hassan. She was the first God you ever knew. Before all of that jailhouse Allah shit you bees talking about, she was your first God, and then Africa Bambaataa. And then going further, Hassan has turned into a bona fide snitch and rat by implicating Bambaataa and Ahmed in a murder back in the day. He told us that they were there when the murder went down and Bambaataa was the getaway driver. This ain't dry snitching. This is straight up snitching. The depths to which these YouTube streets have taken Hassan. Astounding. If you had a half ear to the streets of New York, as a New Yorker, you knew that going around Africa Bambaataa alone could be a precarious and sticky shit situation. Giovanni knew this, and now you know this. Wasn't no damn date raping. These niggas was homo thugs, Hassan and Giovanni. Birds of a feather flocking together like a motherfucker. And just think, these are the origins of what became known as hip hop.
That's it, people. That's one hell of a story. He fucked his son up. See, he wanted to fuck me up, but he couldn't fuck me up like that because I ain't never been a foul ass nigga. I've never been a bitch ass nigga. You can't fuck a real man up. Oh, your mama house and you did this and you did that. Motherfucker, you can't blame me for that. My family, nobody in the world can blame me for that because I did the best I could with what the fuck I had. And I wasn't no mother. I wasn't no father. I ain't got no fucking children that I even know about. But hey, it's all good. I'm willing to talk about it. But y'all never heard that shit. Cause Troy Star Terrain and Layla Wills them shut that bitch ass nigga up. Motherfucker, don't you get on this internet and say one motherfucking word about what the fuck you did too much already. And like I told him, you gonna be surprised if they don't come to Colorado and kill your motherfucking ass. Cause you a Michael Edwards ass nigga. You run your motherfucking mouth too much and you ain't a real ass nigga. You's a bitch ass nigga just like the bitch ass niggas you run with. Birds of a feather flock the fucking together. That's why, to quote Tupac, how can the devil take a brother if he close to me? The motherfucker ain't took me. Until the day y'all send the killers, I'm gonna still be kicking. That's how I feel. That's me in a nut bag. However you want to take it, whatever you want to take. See, I don't do the pause shit because it ain't no pause. I said what I meant and I meant what the fuck I said. Now, anybody and their mama can get mad. I'm telling you now, one of you motherfuckers flag this channel or any of my motherfucking channels. And we going to jail and y'all gonna get criminally prosecuted unless y'all go ahead, sit down and talk about my care package and get my money and all my shit together and send it to me. Maybe then I'll sign one of them agreements not to talk about y'all ass and put this motherfucking material out that I got because I got a whole lot of motherfucking Khalil Amani fucking material. Now, once again, case closed. I'm the winner. I ain't got to wait to win. I already won. To the children that I don't know about, you kill me, you going to pay them. Then we'll find out how many children I got out here in the world. Oh, but with that said, peace, I'm out. I'm out. Finna go over to the queen. We finna drag that bitch ass nigga mother like her son dragged his bitch ass mother. Yeah, YouTube Street King. I'll make shit happen. I'm about. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, even about my actions. They might have been bogus, but I ain't apologizing for them. Peace.